How to replace this spoiler with an EOS. We'll go through it kind of quick. I'll make the edits, try to make it as simple as possible. But the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and remove the bottom lining piece of the trunk there. So you'll pop it off right here. This comes out. I'll show you in a second. I'll pop it out like that. You'll want to use a 7mm to take this off, or that's at least what I'm using. Then it just comes out, pops out, pull it out. This piece slides off real easy. Just pry from underneath here and then pull back. It'll just come off like that. And then I couldn't use two hands, unfortunately, but to pry these off, they're metal clips and it'll come off with light force. I use two hands, so just make sure you're careful. In each corner you kind of do it. Also note, before you move on with anything else, make sure you disconnect this pigtail. That is your center brake light, which we'll be dealing with afterwards. So let's just make sure we disconnect this so the wire doesn't get pulled on accident. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove these 4 bolts. It should be 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one down here. Now we just have to be careful with these plastic bits too. As the cars do get older, it does get brittle. So I don't know when you'll be doing this video. However, just make sure you're careful with the plastic tabs as well. So there's one here. All right, so basically once all the screws are off, if you haven't taken it off the first time and it's a non-carbon package, I'm gonna get some pliers and kind of squeeze them in while holding the top part simultaneously. If you look close enough and smooth, it's like, if I hold it smooth, that's where it's holding, basically in the middle. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is pinch those while holding it and pull it out so it doesn't scratch my car. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and use a heat gun just because I happen to have one. I'm gonna heat up the angles where it has a lot of high contact, and I'm gonna peel it off. I'll find out right now if you could do it by hand or another way, but you know, since I'm at luxury with the heat gun, I'm gonna try to do it as clean as possible. Yeah, going through the pot process, you will need a heat gun to separate it. It's really etched right here and all throughout the back of this, on this specific line, and then just this corner here. I started peeling it so you could see what I mean. Yeah, you will need a heat gun. Now, depending on who put this together, it could be easy or hard. Like they forgot to peel that 3M side off, so it was a little easier to peel. Definitely a pain, I'd say. I pried it for the most part. And I got this cheap little, well, it was actually $6 on Amazon to kind of slice my way through. Pried it with the flathead as I started cutting through. Definitely helped. So let's see what's next, because I think I need a drill, not 100% sure. So right now I'm basically putting in the factory, well, the bolts that they provided in the bag in here, and I'm screwing them inside. And what I'm doing is with the screwdriver, I'm going ahead and screwing it, going back and forth just to make sure I don't have any issues once the car's inside. As well, I'm upgrading the bolts. Did some online research. They recommend going a couple sizes up, so I went with this and a hex size. So this is the part number as well as the dimensions if you want to order it online or your own place. I got these at my local AutoZone. So now we went ahead and drilled holes. I try to get them as centered as possible. That's the only thing I do recommend. The ones on the carbon fiber though were not as centered, so you'll see some are as close as they could. You know, it's carbon fiber, third party. So that's the only thing I just recommend, trying to drill as straight as possible and then add an extra little length. All right, so now I basically put in some washers with the long bolts, and I put 2 test ones to kind of hold it in while I get the other ones that aren't as aligned good. That way I could continue to try to align it and do the best that I can. So like this one's gonna give me trouble. It's gonna go in at an angle. It is what it is. Okay, so another thing, for some reason my bolts didn't want to fit flush. So what I did was I got about 4 washers each. I had larger ones and I put the small one in front just to make sure it's tight good and that they're pretty tight enough so that they don't move when I'm hitting it. I gotta go ahead and tighten that one, but as you can see there, I'm moving it pretty hard with my hand and it's not moving around. This one took a couple more washers because that one was the unaligned one. This one didn't take any, but basically I aligned it to where it needed washers and it went hand tight just to make sure the carbon fiber trunk stayed well.